Okay, so I'm gonna start vlogging. We have 13 days until we're going back to London. We are in Vietnam right now. Planning a few things. So planning a photo shoot, planning a toast to dinner to say thank you to everyone, and then we need to order gifts as well. And it's a bit crazy. The kids are napping right now, and he woke up, and so I'm just holding him. It's been a long time since we slept like this on me. Usually my nap times are pretty like I can get stuff done, but today and yesterday actually he woke up not able to sleep. So such is the life of being a mom. So I'm starting off this vlog really weird. So this probably will be my first video on the channel, and I'm just gonna see where it goes. I'm not gonna plan anything, I'm not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna say this is this and this is that. This is just gonna be it. We'll try and plan our afternoon today, film our afternoon today. So one thing I did want to talk about is something I learned yesterday. So while being here, there's been a lot of support that you just don't get in the Western world. You don't get that in the UK, you don't get it in America. A lot of support here. But even people who live here get a lot of support because of the way everything's set up. So their grandparents tend to live with them and support them with housework and food, but even still, you'll be getting support in other ways. It's really accessible here. So what I've noticed is recently I've been at home with the kids, like how I was in London, and it is just so much that we do. If you are staying at home with your kids or just being a mom, there is so much you do because your husband is working full-time most of the time, and so the financial provision is usually there. And some people, obviously, some women have to also work. I'm not currently working full-time, so I'm just at home full-time. But just realizing that it is a lot, and I don't mean just the weight of the impact. It's a lot to be a mom. It's a big impact that you're having on your kids. The actual work itself can be stressful, but I just mean the amount of work to do, just everything that you need to juggle in a day. And I just felt it again. And you know, I'd gotten so used to that being my lifestyle that when I experienced it again recently, because we're on our way back to London and the kids are here, and I was just thinking, this is a lot. This is so much. And it doesn't make sense. It's actually so unwise. And so the picture I had in my mind was, you know, you have 10 items to do. You have 10 items in your to-do list, but you can only handle 3. You have 10 on your to-do list. How stressed are you going to be? You're not going to be able to handle it, because no matter how much you try and squeeze, maybe you can do 3.5, maybe 4. But you have 10 things. So what you're going to do at the end of the day, you're going to feel stressed, because you're going to feel incapable, and your self-esteem is going to be affected because you weren't able to tackle all these 10 things that need to get done. It's not like, well, we'll question need, but just 10 things on your item, on your lists to do. And so you're going to feel horrible. Your confidence is going to take a hit. You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to maybe be upset with your partner because you feel like you need more support. and they have the freedom as a woman, and you don't feel like you have the freedom. You have this weight, this burden on you that does not go away as the kids grow older, because they're still your kids. Even as they grow, you will still wonder and hope and wish and pray that they're okay. It's just gonna look different. And so I was just thinking, this the burden compared to the scope does not match. You have too much to do, and you're not capable of doing it. Don't even add the fact that as women we're not built to handle the kind of burden that is placed on us, number one. And also, when you're pregnant and you give birth, we don't often recover well. Like, we don't eat well, we eat last, we don't take care of ourselves, and so our capacity is diminished even more. So maybe you usually can handle 5, but because of being pregnant and giving birth and that whole experience, maybe you went through trauma and you have so much you have to deal with yourself that you don't even have time to deal with. And so you can only handle 3, but you still have 10 things. If you don't maintain the tool you're using, it's going to slowly start deteriorating. Meaning, if you don't take care of yourself, see yourself as an asset to be an effective mom, homemaker, if you have a job, wife, daughter, and just be effective in society. In general, you have to take care of yourself. You have to maintain yourself. You clean your house, clean your toilet so you can keep using it. You'll maintain your Hoover so that you can keep using it. And it's the same as you. Like, you have to see yourself as an important asset to achieving what you need to achieve. And you cannot do that if you're hungry, if you're literally, you don't have fuel, you don't have food, you haven't slept, you're dealing with emotional baggage, which we're human beings, we're not computers. So emotional baggage is real. You cannot just ignore it. You cannot just pretend like you don't have feelings. And it's something that you have to deal with in a healthy way. But we don't have the space because our kids are on us all day, and we have all these tasks that we love to do. And you can experience this even when you're not staying at home, even when you have a job that's really demanding, when you're just constantly on that job. It doesn't mean you don't appreciate the job, but it's just the burden is too much for your scope. You're doing too much for how much you're capable of doing, and you don't even have time to renew yourself to continue doing what you need to do, and so your capacity continues to diminish. And it doesn't make sense. It is just not wise. You would not do that with any other asset. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we have this expectation on ourselves to do these things when we just physically cannot do it. I don't know where these expectations came from, but they need to end. They need to end. And I just admitted that I can't. I physically cannot do it because something has to go. Like, you will not be able to fit more than 2 liters of water in a 2-liter bottle, right? So it's the same thing. Your capacity is your capacity. You can increase it, but you also need time. You need capacity to increase your capacity. So you need time and energy to put time and energy back. You need time to sleep, time to eat. You need money to eat. You need help to get this stuff done when you have too much to handle. So what I noticed is there's a sacrifice that happens. Like, I had so much to do, and I couldn't do it all. And so what suffered? My health, my self-care. Let me not even say what I didn't do. But I didn't have time to take care of myself, which I usually do. And my kids suffered because I was stressed. I didn't eat properly. And so my stress was affecting them, and they were becoming stressed, and it just wasn't working. For what? You know? But then if I ask somebody else to do it, I feel guilty. Like, I should be doing it. But these expectations do not match the scope. Does that make sense? Anyway, you just have, the only way I see out is support. If you want to do 10 things and you feel like these 10 things have to get done, you have to get support, because you cannot do it all at one go. So if you want to be full-time homemaker, full-time mom, full-time wife, and then have like a business, whatever, you cannot do it all at the same time. So you have time allocated for each thing. And even if you do that, you are spread thin, and so you won't be able to advance in any area significantly. So because you probably only be able to spend 1 hour, 2 hours on each thing, and it requires you to be very strategic and only working on the things that make the impact. And so that's why I say strategic. You have to really know what the end goal is, so you know the activities that you need to do to achieve that goal, and get a lot of support on everything else. So let's start that you can do everything, but you'll need a lot of help. So you need to borrow scope, right? So if you can only handle 3, maybe get a tool that can handle 1, maybe get help that can handle 2, but there's always a cost. If you use TV to work, there's a cost. It affects their brains, it will affect their intimacy, it will affect their lifetime. That is the cost. If you get help, there's a cost. You have to pay them. If you ask a friend for help, it's a cost. It's like you're borrowing that friendship in a way. That makes sense. It's a burden on them. You're placing that burden on them. And if you have a good friend, that's amazing. If you have a mom, somebody who you can ask for help with no returns, like they don't make you feel guilty for it, then it's amazing. But there's also a limit. Everybody has a limit. Everybody has their life. They cannot bend to your will constantly. But there's always a cost to borrowed help. The other thing is you can increase your capacity, but in order to do that, you need to still reduce your load so that you can spend a little bit of time every day increasing your capacity. And the other thing is you can simplify and just decide what you want to focus on and say no to everything else. If being a homemaker and a mom is important to you, no to everything else. No to going out. No to hosting every day. No to all these things, because your money and your time and your energy can only go so far with everything. So I think those are the 3 options I would say. And you can probably do all 3. You can get some help. You can maybe balance 2 or 3 things. Get some help when you're working, get a babysitter. And then also get some time to yourself. And I think that'd be a great balance, but don't try and do everything yourself. It's just not wise. Because what will suffer will probably be the most important thing. Your health is important to see your grandchildren, and you wanna be the best for your kids. You want to be the best for your husband. You want to be the best for your home. You want to do the best that you can do, which can only come if you take care of yourself. And in order to do that, I think those 3 things work. You first have to just decide what's important, and only work on the activities that are impactful, and then get rid of everything else, and work on increasing your capacity. So work on getting enough sleep, work on eating the right foods, work on getting therapy, helping with your emotional trauma, get coaches and things to help you invest in yourself to increase your capacity to handle the load. And then you'll be able to do more and more, be more and more effective. But doing more is not doing more different things. It's doing more of the thing that's important. Wow, that was really long. But that's what I learned. And I want to take my own advice. Okay. Ramble over.